Hello there.
Hello there, Star Wars fans. This is a breakdown for The Bad Batch Episode 13. Now last week we saw the conclusion of the Ryloth arc, where Hera teamed up with the Bad Batch to save her parents. We saw Captain Hauser and his men betray the Empire, which probably means that the inhibitor chip's strength varies from clone to clone, and signaling that we are going to get a clone rebellion. And finally, we have Admiral Rampart wanting Clone Force 99 to fight for the Empire, which could lead us back to Task Force 99. And another hint to this was when the Kaminoans mentioned that they only need one clone to replicate the enhanced forces. Alright, now let's move on to the breakdown. This episode is called Infested, and while at first glance it would seem that the title is because of the insects we see later on, it is actually a reference to the increase in crime that the Empire would permit to justify bolstering its military and Imperial Navy, and enacting stricter laws on the people. Similar to how Palpatine orchestrated a separatist threat to create an army for the Republic and gain executive powers prior to the Empire. The episode opens with the Bad Batch arriving on Ord Mantell from a mission, when Hunter is upset that they were swarmed by Gundarks. Now Gundarks were first mentioned by Han Solo in The Empire Strikes Back.
Head to me? He looks strong enough to pull ears off a Gundar. Thanks to you.
And they were first seen in the Clone Wars episode Dooku Captured. The Bad Batch arrive at Sid's bar to see that it's filled with patrons and being ran by a new gang. And they are about to leave Ord Mantell when Sid blackmails them to assist her. We learn that this new gangster's name is Roland, and that he's the son of the crime boss Issa Duran, and that he's joined up with the Pikes. And the plan is to steal Roland's spice shipment so that the Pikes will remove the problem for Sid. Sid and the Bad Batch travel through old mine shafts that run below Ord Mantell. Sid mentions that they need to be absolutely quiet to not wake the Hive. Now the Hive is a creature called an Erling, which are large insects. The Bad Batch reach their target location only to have a close call right before. And Sid's master plan to distract Roland is to have Bolo and Ketch capture Ruby, the creature from episode 7, using Mantell Mix. The Bad Batch and Sid steal the spice while Roland is searching for his pet. Once Roland discovers the spice is missing, he has his troops chase them on minecarts like the movie The Rock. All the blasted fire wakes the Hive, and we see that when they are shot, they explode in a green mess, kind of like in Starship Troopers. The Bad Batch end up losing the spice down the mine shafts. The Pikes threaten Roland, and he tells them to go back to Obadiah. Now Obadiah is the Pikes' homeworld and is located at the end of the Kessel Run. The Pikes kidnap Roland, and he leads them back to Sid. The Pikes then take Omega as hostage in exchange for the Bad Batch to recover the spice. And here we have Sid wanting to save Omega to make it up to her for earlier. And this is further growing their relationship. They return to the caverns to retrieve the spice. We learn something about the Duranian people from Omega and Roland's captivity.
You take what you want. That's the Durand way.
And they both realize that they have something in common with Ruby. We get a Lords of the Rings callback, and the Erlings attack just to be thwarted by Tech's light grenade. Pikes and the Bad Batch call truce after the return of the spice, and Roland gets one horn cut off, which seems to happen to every Devorian in Star Wars. Now this episode was very much a filler, and I know it disappointed a lot of fans that were hoping the Bad Batch would really ramp up at the end of the season. And as I mentioned earlier, this episode was probably created to show the increase in crime that the Empire allows, which in turn allows the Empire to really begin bulking up its Imperial forces throughout the galaxy. And it also shows that Sid and the Bad Batch are starting to see each other as friends rather than business partners. Now with next week's episode title most likely going to be War Mantle, we could perhaps see the clone troopers beginning to lead enlisted troopers in the Imperial Army, especially after the defection of several troopers on Ryloth. Now make sure you hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want more content from a lifelong Star Wars fan. May the Force be with you.